Hello students, welcome to second episode of Force. In the previous episode, we did the chapter till principle of movement. Now in this chapter, I'll explain you the meaning of center of gravity and then uniform circular motion. So let's start the lecture. So, what is center of gravity? Before explaining the definition, I am giving you an example. Suppose this is a body, okay? This is a rigid body that is made up of number of particles, okay? That is made up of number of particle let each particle of weight W. So we know that the weight is always acted in downward direction. So suppose this particle here, the weight acts in downward direction. Here the weights acts in downward direction. Weights acts in downward direction. Weights acts in downward direction, and so on. So many particles. This body is made up of so many particles. Okay. So what is their resultant weight? If the resultant weight is W, that is the sum of W plus this all W up to n times. Okay, up to n times. So that weight will be n into W. So, center of gravity is that point where this resultant weight lies. Okay, where this resultant weight acts. So that point is, it would be somewhere inside the body, and that point will be your, suppose at this point this W resides. So that weight of the body acts on, the total weight of the body acts on this point. So this is called the center of gravity of this body. So center of gravity, where we find the resultant of the point where we find the resultant of all the forces or all the weight of that body of which the body is made up of. So in simple words, how can we define the center of gravity? It is a point. That point may or may not be inside the body. Generally, 90% cases, that point, the center of gravity, resides inside within the body. That is found within the body, but I'll give you one example where the center of gravity also lies outside the body. So generally, it's inside, that is, the point lies within the body. So it is a point where the whole weight of the body is supposed to be concentrated. So that point is called center of gravity. If I ask the definition for center of mass, then what will you say? It is the point where the whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. So that is what called the center of mass. Now I am going to show you the location of the center of gravity for some fixed shape body. So determination of center of gravity of fixed shape bodies. So first we'll explain you where the center of gravity reside, whose density, the body whose density is uniform or some fixed shape body. Lamina means surface, so rectangular, square or parallelogram surface, like in that type of body, your center of gravity, the center of gravity of that type of body resides at the intersection of their diagonals. So if it is asked, find the center of gravity in a square, so just draw the diagonals, construct the diagonals, and where the diagonals intersects, the center of gravity resides. For rectangle, square, parallelogram, etc., the center of gravity resides at the point of intersection of their diagonal. If it is triangular lamina, the center of gravity resides, draw the median. Draw all the three median of this triangle. The point where all the three median intersects, that point is the center of gravity for the triangular lamina. For cylindrical body where the center of gravity, these are some fixed shape bodies only. So we have done for the square, parallelogram shaped body. For triangular shape body, now comes if the body is cylindrical shape. If the body is cylindrical shape and this is what its axis of rotation. So in this, just suppose this is a cylindrical shape, so this is the axis of rotation of the body. So the center of this axis of rotation is the point of center of gravity. So what is the center of axis of rotation? Axis of rotation is the center of gravity for cylindrical body. For spherical or circular body, circle shaped body, their center of gravity reside in their geometric center. So this is the center of gravity. There it is the point of their geometric center is the center of gravity for circular or spherical body. For solid cone, if your cone is solid and if this is the axis of the height h, the cone of height h, so the center of gravity reside at a distance of h by 4 from the base. Okay, for solid, the center of gravity reside at a distance h by 4. At a distance h by 4 meaning if your height is 100 centimeter, height of the cone is 100 centimeter, then from the base at a height of 25 centimeter, the center of gravity resides. And for hollow cone, the center of gravity resides, if this is h height, this is the axis, at a height of h by 3. At a height of h by 3 from the base, on the axis, the center of gravity resides. Now I am going to find the center of mass for a irregular shaped body. So we have seen different regular shaped body like parallelogram, square, triangle, cone, sphere, like that. So for that body we can easily find the center of mass. But for the body which have irregular shape, how can we find the center of mass of that type of body? For to find the center of mass for that type of body, what you have to do, just for to do the experiment, so I have taken like this is a irregular shaped body. Okay, to take a irregular shaped body and mark a hole near its edges. You can mark two, three holes near its edges and suspend this body with the help of inner retort stand and with the help of nail along a plumb line, and just check whether this is a plumb line and just suspend this body on through this hole. Okay, now just check whether the body is free to oscillate or not. Okay, now when the body comes to rest along with the plumb line, mark that position. Okay, mark that position. And similarly, you just have to repeat that experiment with the another hole also. So where the two hole, the point of intersection of the two holes, suppose this is a irregular shaped body. So here you have marked one hole. Okay, and when the body comes to rest, so with the help of plumb line you have just marked this position, like suppose this is the A. With the help of plumb line you just have this position B. Now the another hole, suppose this is C, with the help of plumb line just repeat that experiment the same way. So that is the line, the plumb line that gives you the position where the body comes to rest. The point of intersection of the two, the line that you have drawn, okay, so that gives you the center of gravity of that irregular shaped body. Now I'm going to give you the example, the body where the center of gravity resides outside the body. So the body, L-shaped body, you will find generally in L-shaped body, the center of gravity resides outside the body. For that I have taken example of boomerang. That is a playing tool. Its shape is like that. In that type of body, the center of gravity resides here, which is just outside the body. Uniform circular motion. So what is uniform circular motion? When a body moves in a circular path with uniform or constant speed. So when a body moves in a circular path with uniform or a constant speed. So here you will see bodies, although body is moving with uniform speed, but each and every position, the direction of the body keeps on changing. Here the direction is upward, here the direction is downward, here the direction is eastward, here the direction is westward. So in every position the direction keep on changing. So that type of motion is called uniform circular motion. And since although it has uniform speed, but the velocity due to the change in direction is velocity changes, so it is accelerated. It is an example of accelerated motion, although with the uniform velocity. The motion is accelerated motion. So we have many example. I will explain you the example of the uniform circular motion. Before that, you should know that why the direction changes, how the direction changes. If the body is moving, means if the direction is changing, so some external force must be acts on that body which helps to change in direction, helps to change the direction of that body. So here one force, new force comes into picture. So the force that helps to change the direction of the body, that force is called centripetal force. So let's start. What is the meaning of centripetal force? So we have seen the uniform circular motion. So in uniform circular motion, when the direction change of the force that comes into picture, that helps to change the direction of the motion, that force is called centripetal force. So generally, what is the direction and direction of the centripetal force? I will tell you the magnitude also. So since the body, that is the center, and the body is moving along its circumference with uniform speed, but at every point you will see the direction keep on changing. So the centripetal force is a force that if this is a radius, the force that acts along the radius and towards its center, that force is centripetal force. So it acts right angle to the direction of the motion of the body. If the body moves like this way, so that is always perpendicular to the direction of motion of the body. So that is what So there are various examples. That is what the external force that comes into play that helps to move the body in a circular path. So here are some example of uniform circular motion as well as where the centripetal force comes into picture. Planet moves around the sun. So the planet moves around the sun. This is sun and the planet moves around it. So there's a force that helps to change the direction of the motion and helps the planet to revolve around the circular orbit of the sun. So that is the centripetal force. So here in that case, the centripetal force is your gravitational force that you have studied in class 9th about the gravitational force. So here only the centripetal force is gravitational force that helps to move the planet around the sun. Electron revolves around the nucleus. Again, this is a orbit where the electron revolve. This is a nucleus, so it is revolves around the nucleus. The force is only the centripetal force that helps to make it revolve around the nucleus. That is the centripetal force. So which centripetal force comes into picture here? The electrostatic force, that is between the electron and proton. Moon revolves around the earth. Moon revolves around the earth. Again, the centripetal force, which is also nothing but a gravitational force only, that helps the moon to revolve around the earth. So we have given the direction of the body, that is always right angle to the direction of motion, and the force, the magnitude of this centripetal force is given by mv square by r, where m is the mass of the body, v is the velocity or speed, constant speed with which the body is moving, and r is the radius of that circular path. So that this, by using this formula, we can find the magnitude of the centripetal force. So let's see the difference between the uniform linear motion and uniform circular motion. The uniform linear motion you did in your class 9th. Now you have studied uniform circular motion. So what is the major difference between the two? So in uniform motion or uniform linear motion, you have studied that the speed or the velocity body travels equal distance or equal displacement in equal interval of time. That you have studied, meaning the speed or velocity both is constant, even the body does not change its direction and body is moving with a uniform speed. So here both the speed and velocity is constant, but here the speed is constant but the velocity is changing. Velocity is variable, velocity is not constant. Here since the both speed and velocity is constant, so the acceleration of that type of body must be 0. Here the body acceleration acts on the body because of the variable speed. The acceleration acts on the body. So here both speed and velocity is constant, direction not changing, magnitude not changing. So the no external force acts on the body. But here you have seen the external force acts on the body, that helps to change the direction of that body, and that force is what? Your centripetal force. So centrifugal force, it's another force which has same magnitude but opposite direction of centripetal force. That is what the centrifugal force. So it's, how can we define this force? This is a center, this is a center. The centripetal force acts along the radius and towards the center. This force acts along the radius and away from the center. The force which acts along the radius and away from the center is called your centrifugal force. Okay, its direction is opposite to that of centripetal force, but magnitude of the both forces would be same. So here it is centripetal force, and here the centrifugal force. So you have seen the example of centrifugal force here. The dryer in a washing machine throws out water from our wet clothes. So the force that acts away here. So it's the which force that helps to throws out the water away from our wet cloth in a washing machine, that is a centrifugal force. For mud flies off the wheel of the vehicle. So which force helps the mud to fly off from the vehicle, that is what your centrifugal force. So that is a force that acts away from the center. Now we have finished this chapter force. All the theoretical concept we have done. We did the few examples, few numericals in first episode. So in next episode, I am going to take a few more numerical problems related with that chapter. Keep practicing.